Welcome to the HireLearning podcast, the show where ambition meets strategy. This is your go-to space for career truth, financial empowerment, leadership growth, and real conversations that are unfiltered and uncut. If you're ready to elevate your career, confidence, and future, then you're in the right place. Join our co-hosts, HR professionals Yolanda, Aaron, and Caroline, right here, right now, for an episode of HireLearning.
Welcome to today's episode of HireLearning. I'm your girl, Erin.
I'm Yolanda.
And I'm Caroline.
And today we are going to be discussing showing up on day one at your first day of work. So, ladies, I know I've had a whole bunch of new jobs, a whole lot of first days.
Oh, I definitely have had a lot of first days.
Yes.
And a lot of last days.
Yes.
So, we are here to talk about it. What's going on, Miss Caroline? Tell us what's up with the first day.
So the first day, you've been searching for, let's say, 8 months. Let's say you've been in a situation where you were unfortunately laid off, released. Or let's say you're that sophomore in high school and you've been applying online and you're excited because you finally got that positive email that you've been hired. And you're looking forward to the summertime and hanging out with friends and making money. Or let's say you're the service member who has done a wonderful job of serving our country. We're appreciative of your service and you're needing to transition back into a different workforce. That first day looks different for everyone, right?
It sure does.
But that first day is very important. And today we want to talk about some actionable key steps that you can take to ensure that you're prepared for that first day showing up.
Okay. So what would you do on your first day on a job?
What did I do my first day on the job? I did not take the correct actionable key steps. I remember this was a while ago where I was excited, had been applying for quite some time. This was shortly after college. And adulting, as they say, trying to get into the career workforce, and found out I had gotten this job, was excited and all of that. And honestly, that first day I showed up at the wrong location.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
The company had several. I need folks to understand that the company, it was a large company. And it had several different offices.
Okay.
And I just knew that I was supposed to report to X and didn't find out until around lunchtime that I had reported to the wrong location. And this was many, many years ago where the flexibility of just being able to easily use the cell phone and all that to kind of navigate to the correct location wasn't easy. And I arrived to orientation right at lunchtime.
Wow.
And thankfully, I still was able to report. I was late on I missed the entire morning's activities of orientation, but it was a great and fabulous lunch.
So, lesson learned.
You need to know where you're going to, the first day. That's not even a lesson learned. That's a baseline minimum. You need to know which location, and you want to confirm maybe the night before, a couple days before, with the hiring managers, with the points of contact, that where exactly you're supposed to report for orientation.
Okay. That's different from how I started. How I would start my first day.
How did you start?
No, I had to map it out in my head. I need to make sure that I'm going to the right place, especially if I'm driving.
Yeah, I was driving.
I want to know that I could find parking and that I'm going to the right location. But that might be the adult me. The younger me,
it was
more perfection. No, I'm just joking. I was catching the subway, right? So I had to know where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
Aaron, how did you show up on the first
One
day?
time I did get lost on my first day, and I was super stressed out. It was at a big base. It was on a base, and they told us to report to one place because you had to go and like get checked in, and they had to scan you for stuff.
Yes,
make sure you didn't have no weapon, whatever. Right? It was on a military base, and I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm in. They was like, okay, now you can go to your building. And I'm like, okay, but where is it? Like,
yes, yeah.
And they was like, oh, just walk straight. So I'm like, okay. I had no idea how big this base was on day one. So I'm walking straight. Next thing I know, I hit a wall, like a brick wall. I'm like, I can't go straight. I don't see this building that this man is talking about. I'm on an alley, y'all, scared out of my mind.
Wow.
And I'm like, I seen a black man walking. I'm like, excuse me, sir.
Which
do
way
you
do I
know
go?
where to get to this building? And he was like, yeah, I'll walk you. And that's how I found it.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that wasn't my experience. It was a memorable experience, but in reporting to the incorrect location, I learned a lot more about the company. And it turned into a great topic of discussion that I used for the rest of the orientation week. So, I had to look at it as a win either way. Couple key things that I would, in terms of lessons learned from that experience. Like I said, I was much younger, and as I grew in age, I recognized the importance of, when reporting for a new job, there are a couple of key things that I need to do, that I encourage others to explore and consider doing before they show up the first day. Key thing is, like you said earlier, logistics.
Right.
Where do you need to report? What time do you need to report? Back that time that you have to report, back it to an earlier, like 30 minutes. Report 30 minutes earlier than you're scheduled to report, to allot for unexpected situations.
Absolutely.
If you have to go through security, if you have, we're in a very metropolitan, very large area, traffic is extremely unpredictable, whether you're using plane, train, automobile, or what have you.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you're doing your due diligence in terms of timeliness and all of that.
Absolutely.
The night before, like the logistics, plan your outfit. What does the professional outfit need to be? I don't know. What are your thoughts in terms of what you could do the night before?
Well, I think that sometimes you don't want to overdress your first day on the job, because most of the time, we may wear heels, but it may be a lot of walking. You don't know the distance that you take.
Right.
I myself don't like carrying a lot of things, so I'd probably be more preppy, business prep. So I would probably have, a suit on or a pantsuit on, so I could wear like loafers or something of that nature, because you just don't know how long you'll be on your feet. And also, I want to feel some form of comfort. Sometimes if I have a skirt suit on, I feel a little bit more uptight, or probably a little more dressed than the regular business dress attire. So I want to be a little bit more casual, where I'm still, I don't mean to say casual, business, but where I still fit in, but I still feel a bit comfortable.
So comfort matters.
Absolutely.
How much does comfort matter to you in terms of that first day?
It's everything. I have to be comfortable, because if it's something hurting, something too tight, something ain't fitting right, that's all you're going to be focused on all day.
Right.
While you're trying to listen and learn about your new job. So the night before, for me, I'm going to not only have my outfit picked out, but also try to get myself in the bed a couple of minutes early. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a night owl, y'all. I'll stay up all night long.
Okay.
But if it's the night before and a big event, something important I have the next day, I'm going to try to be in the bed no later than 10 o'clock at night.
Okay, that sounds good.
That makes sense. Absolutely. How do you, like, the other thing that resonates with me, especially in terms of the scenario that I described, was I was really concerned about and really had a lot of anxiety because I didn't know much about the company. It was a new environment, meeting new people. So I was nervous. I had, a jittery stomach and all of that, because at the end of the day, I wanted to make a good impression. That first day, I really wanted to make sure that Caroline showed up and I established a good rapport with people, and that I appeared professional, and that I appeared willing to learn about this new career opportunity. So making a good impression. I mean, what do you recommend someone do to prep for a new area, right? And how do you make a good impression?
Show up with a smile. I don't care what's going on. I was lost. I was
Okay.
upset, frustrated. I still walked in that building smiling. Good morning. How
Right.
y'all doing?
Okay.
I'm Erin. You know,
Yeah.
that's important because it makes you look more warm and inviting to
Yes.
people, more friendly, more approachable. I see people walking around with sourpuss on their face,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like,
Not sourpuss.
what is wrong with you? But you know, just that's one thing.
All right.
Smile.
Okay.
I'm a note taker. I
Okay.
come smiling all the time, so that's just going to be there. But I take very intense notes because I don't want someone to think they have to keep telling me over and over again.
Okay.
So I'm taking note to the building, note what floor we're on or what office I have to go to. I also
Okay.
like to note the leadership, like who's coming in and out,
Org chart.
or who they.
Okay.
Right. I print the org chart out
yeah,
all the
day
time.
one.
It may
I do
be
too.
wrong, but I print the org chart out
And
so I
look
can
at
kind
it.
of take note who I'm meeting. So 2 people I want to know. I definitely need to know who I'm reporting to. I want to
Right.
remember who that person is.
Okay.
Because sometimes that's not who you meet during orientation.
That's true.
Correct.
Then I'm taking note as to who they're introducing me to that's on my same level or playing field because they're
Your
making
colleagues.
they're making a connection for a reason. So I try to key into those those two people because I'm going to have questions, and that's who I'm going to try to make sure I remember
That's a good
for my next day.
Absolutely. And that typically you bring to mind that typically happens maybe in the earlier part of the day, like the morning time. The orientation, having an opportunity, going through all the forms, finding out about the team that you're assigned to, maybe perhaps some of those team members are there. So that's like the earlier part. And as I mentioned, that's the part that I missed.
Yeah.
Totally missed that part in the scenario I mentioned, but we got past lunch. You've gotten past lunch, let's say, in terms of walking through the day, and you've gone to lunch. Maybe it's with leadership, or perhaps it might just be with some of your colleagues.
Well, wait a minute. I want to talk about lunch.
Yes, lunch is
Let's talk
important.
about lunch.
What about lunch?
Well, I'm not a lunch packer, but I've learned to pack snacks.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Because sometimes at orientation time, or all these people they want you to meet, or
Yes.
what they want you to do, go way beyond time for you to eat.
It's like information overload, and you are beyond hungry.
Yeah. So
Okay.
as simple as it is, I pack a snack.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. And at lunchtime, don't eat a heavy lunch. Don't go out and get burgers and fries. You know, maybe a salad or something light so that you're still fresh and alert
For the afternoon.
for the afternoon.
Exactly.
'Cause
That's
that
a
first
good
day be
in the
long.
afternoon.
You don't want to fall asleep at work
Right.
on
your first day. Note to self, right?
Right.
So being mindful of what you eat during lunch is important. Also, if you have an opportunity to know beforehand, maybe the night before or even a couple of days before, who you will be going to lunch with, so you can maybe Google them or see what role they play in the company and what their position is. That's also something that a trick that you may want to take into consideration. So you've gotten over the nerves. You've gotten to, in my experience, like I said, I enjoyed lunch because I was just happy to be there. But going into the afternoon, you're still meeting people. Depending upon the organization and all of that, it may be just as busy during the afternoon. And you're also learning a little bit more about the organization. I don't know if that's something that you can elaborate on in terms of, Yolanda, some of the afternoon activities and what's been your experience.
When starting a new job, I do research. So I've done that when I've gone on the interview. Like I know who I'm going to be working for. I know the organization. I at least have an idea.
Okay.
I reach out to my community to see if anybody already worked there, or they know some hidden secrets or tricks that I might need to know for my, not just the first day, but for my first week on the job. But I do have a funny for you. I've had a first day on the job.
Okay.
And the second day, I could not remember what floor.
There we go.
I worked on.
See, the logistics. I'm telling you, a lot of times it's difficult to know all of the information.
Yes, because
Emergency
everywhere
exits.
else I was on the first day was not the office I had to go to the second day. I could not remember. How about you, Erin?
I have a funny first day at work story. It's not necessarily my first day at work.
Okay.
But it was, at the time I was working at FAA.
Okay.
And this was years and years and years ago. I'm an HR person, right? So I hired air traffic controllers.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hire them to come out of the towers and work at headquarters in these high-level positions at headquarters. Because, there's a mandatory retirement age at FAA. But anyway, so they get out of the tower. They come to headquarters. They write the policies, whatever. So it was this one man who would call me every job he applied for. He'd be like, Miss Anderson. He would be like, Erin, I applied for this job. I just want you to know. I'm like, okay. He applied for every job. He finally got a job at headquarters, y'all. And on his first day, he called me and said, Erin, I'm sitting here in my cube. I got me a pen and some pads. And I don't have no window or nothing. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I said, welcome to Washington, D.C. So that was his first day.
There you go.
I said, you're not in the tower anymore, sir.
Yep.
You are going to have to talk
Adapt.
to your supervisor and figure it out.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Adapt.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That had to be different for him.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
He has spent his entire career inside of the air traffic control tower.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. So the adaptability, learning from day one, the importance of, okay, so I'm sitting here in the cube, just using that as an example. Do I just continue to sit here and be bored or wonder what the next step is? Or do I take some degree of proactive measures to leave the cube and ask a team member or ask a supervisor if there's materials, if there's an org chart, or if there are some upcoming meetings that I may sit in on and just learn kind of the lay of the land, right, from day one. So the afternoon of day one is always it's always eventful. There are also some scenarios and there's one scenario that I just wanted to poach to the both of you. Let's say it's 4:00 in the afternoon on that first day. The office has gotten kind of quiet. You've noticed that the main person, supervisor, boss, or whatever, has left. What do? If you're just in the cube and it's like 4:00 and it seems that people are leaving.
On my first day, I'm leaving. What? Everybody else.
So Aaron's leaving. Aaron's out. What about you, Yolanda?
I have no reason to stay late.
Okay. There we go. We're batting two. And that happened to me. I was in a IT secured environment doing just in a very dark kind of secured environment. And it was the first day, and I didn't realize probably until maybe there were very few people left by the time I realized that it was in fact time for me to go home, and no one was going to go and kind of release or acknowledge that it was time to kind of wrap it up. So I stayed there. It was kind of late.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Caroline,
hey.
You're a good employee.
No. Just, hey, taking it for the team. As we reflect on some of these experiences of the first day, a couple of things that resonate just in terms of how to cope. And one is always to know, you have day two coming, right? The first day is just the first day, whether you show up on time or not, that matters. You aim to do better definitely on day two, but it is definitely it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You're just starting out in this job, learning the lay of the land. Also, how you show up matters. Taking notes right, Yolanda? Like
Absolutely.
you mentioned, take lots of notes, ask lots of questions,
And be yourself.
and be yourself.
Be yourself. Show up confident.
Absolutely.
Wearing your smile.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so you guys, we want to thank you for joining us for another episode of Higher Learning. If you like this episode, please give us a like, give us a follow. Also, share us with all of your family and friends. And we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
bye.